We have quickly approached the holiday season, and depending on when you're listening, Thanksgiving is just around the corner, or maybe it's even over. That's hard to believe. But this feels like a great time to talk about a topic that is incredibly important, but so often overlooked, and that's R&R, or rest and relaxation. So today we're talking to Rachel Otlanowski from NDHR, an important topic for your teams, I know, Rachel, and Susie Gray Holden, a wellness coach at the Wellness Center. Thanks for being with me, or thank you for having me in your office, Susie. I appreciate it. The beautiful Wellness Center.
Yeah, good to meet you, Jenna, and thank you for coming.
And thanks, Rachel, for joining us in this conversation. It was NDHR that brought this topic to us because when we look at overall wellness of our colleagues, mindfulness, rest and relaxation, that's a key component.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited to be here today.
Thanks so much. Well, let's get right into it. I'm going to ask either of you or both of you, when's the last time you felt truly rested and relaxed, or maybe looked for some time to take in self-care? And I'll be honest here, I struggle in this area. It is really challenging for me to think thoughtfully enough about the fact that I need to downshift. So hopefully I'm not alone here.
You are not alone, Jenna, and myself included. Yeah. It's challenging, especially around the holidays. But fortunately, a couple weeks ago, I was able to go with my husband on a vacation, a long weekend to Georgia.
Nice.
And it was so wonderful to disconnect. It's just what we both needed. So grateful to have that opportunity.
Absolutely. You realize the benefit when you come back from a trip like that, right? Oh, I didn't realize how much I needed that. And it feels so good to be refreshed. In the day-to-day, though, it doesn't always have to be a trip or a vacation, but we do need to be intentional about how we make time for rest and relaxation. So I know we'll get to that, but really, what is the benefit, Susie, to focusing on our own mental wellness?
Yes, it's so important and critical, especially during the holidays. When we feel rested and relaxed, we have a more flexible mindset. Our awareness tends to be more open rather than narrowed, giving us a wider perspective of the moment. We're able to be with ourselves, which is so important, and others with more ease. When we're rested, we even make better choices around what we're eating, what we're drinking, and whether or not we're exercising.
And that's really important, of course, during the holidays, anytime, but especially the holidays. We're spending time with family. There are holiday parties. Some of that can be really fun, and some of that may stress anyone out, regardless of if you're an introvert, extrovert, what you like to do with your time. Can you talk about self-care in relation to thinking about what will stress me out this time of year?
Sure. So one of the best self-care strategies that we can actually give to ourselves is intentionally getting more sleep. Now, as best as you can, because of course, there's so much more on our plate in December. The tendency, of course, for all of us is to eat later or stay up late to get extra work done. Yet, it really robs us of precious hours of renewal that we desperately need the next day. So now is the time to plan for that and to really look at your calendars and see how you can take better care of yourself, particularly around sleep. Without adequate rest, we all run the risk of depleting our immune systems, as well as that chronic release of cortisol that drives our desire to eat more sugar and carbs.
It strikes me, Susie, that some of these habits we may have, you mentioned maybe being on your phone late at night or working after hours, we don't realize how that's impacting our sleep. And so we get into this deficit situation, which I'm really connecting with what you said about setting yourself up in a negative way for getting sick. And no one wants to get sick over the holidays. So I think that's a really powerful point.
Yeah. Yeah. And, another idea just that I'd love to share with you all is a self-care strategy to actually identify what does stress you out during the holidays. Because what might stress you out, Jenna, may not stress me out, and vice versa. So actually taking some time to look at that and see if you can make even one shift around that. It doesn't have to be a total overhaul or make it more complicated than it is, but maybe there's one thing that you can look at around it so you can experience more peace and joy. So some ideas, you might try taking some time back on your calendar now. If you're beginning to feel flooded by personal and work expectations, or if you're concerned about overeating, then plan now on packing some more healthy snacks than you might usually do, so that we can have a little bit more protein in our bodies, so that will help us to fend off those wonderful Christmas treats and holiday treats that are in all of our break rooms right now.
Yes.
Or maybe you want to plan on walking more. And rather than making that even a challenge, you could even think about walking to the furthest bathroom in your building. Every time you need to use the restroom, go to the furthest one to get more movement and steps in. And one last idea that has helped me personally, and that I share with all my coaching members, is just checking in with yourself and asking yourself, how do I want to feel at Thanksgiving or Christmas? How do I want to feel that day? And that will really open up a lot of wisdom. So do you want to feel engaged and connected? Or maybe it's a time where you just want to get more peace and solitude. So just looking at that for yourself, taking some time to consider how you want to feel can really help us see what actions will lead to that behavior and feeling during the holidays.
That's great advice. Sort of like, instead of making a New Year's resolution, think about a word that captures how you want the new year to feel. Thank you. That's great advice. Rachel, can we talk a little bit about resources? I know, as I mentioned, that overall wellness for our employees is of huge importance to your team at NDHR. And there are resources that exist within our world here, within our benefits package, that can help facilitate some of the things that Susie is talking about. So tell us about a few of those, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure. So there are many resources that we have here at the university, and I'll be honest, sometimes I forget about them myself. So it's always nice to have a reminder. The first one that I think really fits in well with all the things that Susie's talking about is the Calm app. And everyone at the university has access to a free premium membership through the Calm app. You can also share that with 5 of your family or friends.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Family members or friends.
That's great.
Yeah. Also for free. So the Calm app, you can download that app right on your phone. It can walk you through guided meditations. You can put on focused music if you want to get work done. If you need help falling asleep, they have sleep stories. So there's a lot that the Calm app has to offer. And you can use it, of course, for yourself, but also for your kids. If they need help falling asleep, them staying up late can impact you as well. So I definitely recommend checking out the Calm app. But then, like I said, we do have other resources available as well. The next one being the Wellbeing for Life platform that is powered by Virgin Pulse. I think a lot of people think of that platform as tracking your steps and things like that. But it also does have a lot of tips in it related to mindfulness, healthy habits, reminding you to rest and relax, especially during this holiday time. And then through the Wellbeing for Life platform, we also have free access to a program called Koa Health. And Koa Health is basically a mindfulness tool. It can take you through journeys that are related to things like getting better sleep, taking care of yourself. So it's a great tool to implement, and it really has a lot of evidence-based tools and tips for faculty and staff to take advantage of.
We're big fans of the Wellbeing for Life app in our office. Challenges, getting
great.
your points. That's a fun little bonus if you can take time each day to do the challenges and you're learning something and then you're, getting something back too. So I really encourage people to take advantage of that. It's so easy to download and engage with.
Yeah, I agree. And actually on that note, you can even create mindfulness-based challenges. There are a lot of challenges that are available through the app. But again, a lot of people think of step challenges.
Sure.
But they do have mindfulness-based challenges, drinking enough water challenges. So you can get your colleagues on board as well and create those types of challenges too.
I know we lastly want to talk about CareBridge Employee Assistance Program too.
Yes.
Can you talk about how that tool fits into our conversation?
Yeah, so with CareBridge, our fairly new employee assistance program, we just launched with them July 1st of this year. This is a confidential mental health and work-life benefit. It's provided to all full-time faculty and staff. It's also available for free to your family members. So that actually includes anyone that's living in your household. So it does expand to everyone that you're really interacting with on a regular basis. CareBridge has several different components. They have a lot of tools online, resources, articles, podcasts, things like that you can look into that can help you in any facet of your life, but certainly taking care of yourself is kind of the biggest one. You also have free access to mental health counseling through CareBridge. So if you get down to the point where you feel that you need to talk with someone, of course you have that access here at the Wellness Center, but you also have that availability through CareBridge.
Which is such a great opportunity, and I want to make a note of too at this time of year, if you feel like you need to talk to someone outside of your inner circle, let this be the time where you take that step. We have the resources through CareBridge. We have the resources through the Wellness Center. Reach out to your network. And even if it's only this time of year that you need to talk through something that's on your heart.
Yeah. So
let
important.
it be this time, right?
Yeah.
Very good. There are so many resources at the Wellness Center. Susie, we mentioned a few, but there are a few of them of note that I don't want to go unsaid. There's the mental health aspect, but then so really whatever you're going through, whatever stage of life, what you need support with, there's likely a resource right here.
Yeah. So again, we do have our behavioral health therapists. We have certified wellness coaches, as well as condition management nurses. That is really crucial during the holidays. And of course, we have our wonderful and well-stocked pharmacy.
We love the pharmacy. Yes. It's such a great resource. Well, we too want to start you listening from wherever you're listening from off on the right track this holiday season. And Susie, you've agreed to lead us through a mindfulness practice. So before you do that, first of all, just tell us in essence what that is. It's not necessarily meditation, right? Or it could be. Tell us what that means.
It can be. Today, we're going to just do a very brief practice about learning how to pause throughout the day. And that can really help to interrupt our nervous system, help us to calm down in the moment. But of course, there is mindfulness meditation that we can get into at another time. And yet this is the very beginning of developing a mindfulness practice that I'll share with you
All
today.
right, we'll let you take it away.
Yeah, so we'll practice together today. And I just want to guide you through a short practice that we call STOP. So STOP, very simple. The S stands for just stopping whatever you're doing in the moment. The T stands for taking a few breaths. The O stands for just observing what's going on inside of you and around you. And the P is representing presence. So now we're in the present moment. So how about we practice together?
Okay,
Great.
we're ready. Are you ready, Rachel?
I'm ready.
Okay. Such a treat to be able to do this with you both and everybody out there. And I do just want to also note that even for a short practice like this, really allowing yourself to be in a safe environment to do this. So we can just begin. So we've been talking now. And so I just want to invite you to actually stop what you're doing. And you can be seated or standing, or you could even be laying down. So allowing yourself to actually stop. And I invite you now to just take several deep yet easy breaths in and out at your pace. So we're just breathing. Noticing the inhalation and noticing the exhalation. We're not trying to make anything happen here. We're not trying to fix anything. We're just simply allowing the body to breathe. And now observing. So we're just checking in with ourselves, just noticing what's it like to be you right now, internally, perhaps noticing sensations in the body. You might feel the heart beating. You might feel pulsing or sensations of circulation. So just noticing what is there to be felt internally, and then noticing externally. So just even being aware, where are you? Noticing your environment, what's going on around you. And so now we're here in this new moment, present in our lives. And so now at your pace, if your eyes were closed, feel free to open them. And this can be such a useful practice that you might want to try incorporating into your daily life. So you may try it before eating lunch, just to pause. We can so quickly run into the next event, the next meeting, the next meal. You could try it before writing an email or sending an email. You could try it before texting. You could also share it at a meeting or perhaps before going into a meeting. So just an opportunity to interrupt what we're doing, allowing ourselves to catch up and notice what's happening in our lives.
Thank you, Susie. That was beautiful. What a wonderful way to start our day. Thank you. Thank you, Rachel, for the great resources you shared with our colleagues. And thank you for listening to the ND Works podcast. This podcast is produced by the Office of Internal Communications. We're the team that brings you ND Works Weekly, ND Works Quarterly, and The Week at ND. This episode was edited by Michael Weens with original music by Alex Mansour, and I'm your host, Jenna Liberto. Have a wonderful, restful holiday season, and thanks for listening.